Patrick Cook here. So welcome to session number 16 of our Mandelbulb3D Epic Rendering tutorial series. In the last session, 15, we were kind of poking around here and we were saying, let's see if we can find a really nice image. We were kind of playing around with the little amazing box on amazing surf. So I think you get the idea. It occurred to me that in my use of the Mandelbulb fractal generator software, I have just accidentally discovered just dozens and dozens of different formula combinations that are just really cool. And but I just didn't have the time to chase every single one of them. So I would just kind of put them away in a file and use it for some other time and maybe build an animation out of it or take it a little bit further. And it occurred to me after the last session, it occurred to me that I had one that I had discovered quite some time ago. And I thought maybe what I could do is load it in. I'm going to close the navigator. I'm just going to kind of slide it over here where we can open it. Let's take a look at this. Now, can I see that on my wall? Yeah. Wow. Now, is this ready? No, not at all. You see right here, we got a lot of clipping going on. Well, let's see if I can get you a better view of it. Okay. Okay, I got to render it. Let's go to the navigator here. Pull that in. Yeah. Okay. All right. You know what I like about this? I like that it has depth. I can do a lot with that. I can do a lot with this depth. All right. You see here, it's a little bit. I'll tell you what. Let's get a bigger render. Let's get a 1900 by 1080. All right. Let's. I'm not really sure if I could render that. That's going to be a little heavy. It's not going to render because of lack of memory. Oh, you see the limitation I'm running into already? All right, let's just say, let's render it at 1500. Let's see what that looks like. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's render this at 3000. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. Now we're starting to be able to really see what this graphic is made of. And you see here, let it finish out. I'm looking for a graphic that would really look good on my wall, number one. I'm also looking for a graphic that has minimum issues. That's number two. And if we look at this, we have an issue right here. All right. That's been clipped. All right. Where the portion of this Mandelbulb on the z-axis has been sliced, clipped. I talked about this in tutorial series number 1. So I want an image that has depth, minimum quality artifacts. I want an image that that can be tuned with the DE adjustments, the distance estimates adjustments over here on calculation. All right, that can be tuned to really get me a good quality coming out of Mandelbulb. I want a graphic that where I can manipulate colors and shadowing right in here. This is all shadowing here, to where I can really get a really interesting graphic. Now let's just kind of zoom this out where we can kind of see it bigger. Okay, all right, that's good. Now when somebody comes into my house and they're looking at a big print of something like that, they're going to say, wow, now that's cool. It's otherworldly. It looks like an organic growth. It has depth to it. There's a lot of interesting elements. There's a very interesting pattern going on. These bulb-like patterns. The image is familiar because it looks like plant life. People can say, "Oh, I've seen that before." It's familiar. So this would make a good target image for a large print, a 30 by 20 print. And that would stand out and that would draw crowds around it when they come into my house. And it's workable, it's flexible. It can stand, I believe that it can stand the high resolution. It doesn't have a lot of straight lines that can be dithered. All right. Remember a couple sessions ago I was talking about that staircase effect on diagonal lines. We have less of that because we have more kind of round objects. So I'm going to have a good quality coming out of here almost immediately. So you see what's going on here. I'm thinking, can I make it a high quality? And is it interesting? Do I want it on my wall? And so there's a number of thoughts that go into this sort of thing. If we just look at the formulas here, Formula 1 is a quaternion. Formula 2, integer power. That's the default bulb. You can see the bulb in here. Formula 3 is it's a transform polyfolding. All right, now I discovered this. I don't know. I probably maybe a year and a half ago. I discovered it and I just packed it away. You can't get to all of this stuff because you trip across so many of these wonderful images that you just got to put them aside, you know, and maybe you could use them at some point in the future. That would make an interesting animation. I could fly through that and have a good old time with that. But I am going to use this as our project base as we move through this big rendering. All right, and I don't see any reason why I can't ship that out when I'm done to a print vendor and have something really interesting mounted on my wall. All right. So now, all right. So I think we've decided. All right. I think you agree. We've decided. We're going to use this as the basis for this big rendering project. We're going to move forward on this. I'm happy with this. That's what I want to do. I want that on my wall. But it needs work. It needs work. The first thing I got to do is I got to get in here and fix this because I can't have clipping. The second thing I want to do is I want to find a position of my camera that's going to give me the best possible view. All right. Then I want to go after the shadowing. All right. I want to have the greatest possible depth. Then I'm going to look at my fog because I really don't want these halo effects. You see that halo effect there, that kind of glow? I don't want that. So we got some work to do. All right, so let's end this session here. When we come back, I'm going to go for this clipping problem here, and we're going to tweak this out. And we're going to get to a point where we can send this into the Big Render tool, get a bunch of tiles rendered out, and then merged back together and keep moving forward. Okay? I'll see you in the next session.